All right, so Danny is in New York, and he's doing the
Yes.
Today Show. Thank you, Jack. I think I was very smooth, and people thought I knew. And so he's doing the Today Show. They're doing a Partridge Fest, I think, or something, a Partridge reunion, or we don't really know. He didn't tell us a lot about that one, but good for him. He's going to be on Today's Show, so we'll play that when he's on. And then he's supposed to be on our show, or the show, this show, his show too. When?
Oh, I don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
So if he's here, he's here. If he's not, he's not. Let me ask you something. Isn't this Stench's first Mother's Day? Well, I mean, like with a baby,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And it was yours too, with
Correct.
a human being that was out of the womb.
Right.
Because he doesn't seem so happy about Mother's Day, and to me, it seems like it was supposed to be like a warm and fuzzy because it's the first one, but he seems kind of bitchy about it,
Well-
which disappoints me greatly.
He has a lot of moms in his life. He has his wife, who's the new first-year mother. Then
Right.
His mom
Right?
in Downey. Then his wife's mom. He had to do 3 Mother's Days yesterday.
Yeah,
around
but
town.
I mean, it's also, isn't it mostly about his own wife?
I don't think in his family.
Oh, they have to do that.
Yeah, I think it's probably mostly about his wife's mom. Would be my guess.
Yeah, his mother-in-law, right?
Right.
Yeah, I see that happening as well.
Right.
So and you also, and I thought this was a joke, but Jack, well, I was with Sparkles and Jack over the weekend on Saturday all day at Monica's wedding, and I guess you made up a resume and showed your wife that the baby doesn't have a job.
Yeah, baby doesn't have a job, can't buy her anything.
That would kind of piss me off, Jack, because obviously the baby doesn't have a job because the baby can't get a job, Jack.
I know. We put out a resume. We sent it out. All the problems in high tech and stuff. She can't get a job.
So did you not do anything for her?
No, I got her a present.
Did you guys do a sizzler?
No. Okay, we went to Marie Callender's.
Oh, nice.
Nice, except it took an hour and a half to get our food, so they gave us a free pie, which in my head meant
Ah!
one thing. Jamie, be mad.
I don't want free pie. I hate pie. Oh my God, that's so funny. That's the thing is I was with a bunch of people yesterday, and I felt kind of bad because I've just kind of I've whatever myself to know that Mother's Day is going to be crappy for me. It's just something I know, and like, okay, Mother's Day overall is just a bad day. But I was with these people. I was with, I don't know, their kids and their sisters, brothers' kids. Like, I was with this huge group of people at the beach. And I kept saying, I'm really sorry. I feel bad that I'm like in your Mother's Day extravaganza. And then Alina was there and she was motherless. And there was like this whole group of us. And they all said, we don't go out to eat on Mother's Day because it's such a pain in the ass. The wait staff is angry. They don't want to be there. Everything happens bad on Mother's Day at restaurants, so they don't go. So we had hot dogs.
I wish I had hot dogs.
But you know what? They butter their buns and toast them.
Oh, that's weird. I don't like that.
Well, I like toasted buns, but I
Not
don't usually
butter.
put the butter on them.
Yeah.
It kind of was tasty. It was.
And cheese.
No, chili.
Oh.
And they did have cheese. They had
Chili's
chili and they
good.
did cheese. I mean, it was like a hot dog buffet.
That's
It was a hot dog extravaganza. And I'll tell you what, they were so good. And I'm not a big fan of the hot dog. I mean, like once in a while.
Right.
It was the butter.
I think it was. I actually, Jack, you might want to try it because the buttering of the buns, it was a bonus. Plus, you felt naughty.
I don't usually mix my butter and meats.
You don't mix your butters and meats?
No, I usually keep the butter to the butter part and the meat
Have
to
you
the
ever
meat
been to
part.
Ruth Chris? They serve their steak in butter.
Well, right. And garlic bread always has butter and it's served with what? Pasta.
Not with meat on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, all right. That's fine. I'm not going to argue with you about it. It's fine. But I will tell you, you might want to be open-minded and try it because it was really...
Hey.
It was like you were bad, and so first of all, you're eating this hot dog that you don't know what parts they are, and secondly, you know it's really fattening, and then you put on a buttered bun, you're like, I am wrong. It just tasted that much better.
Right, I guess.
But Stench, you're kind of bitchy for your first Mother's Day.
Dude, it's a pain in the butt day. The day started at 6 o'clock in the morning yesterday. That's an early start on a weekend.
Why so early?
Because Grandma lives
Mother's
out
Day
in
church?
Fontucky.
Oh, I've been there before.
And she's got to go out to Fontucky to see Grandma, and we got to get up and get the baby ready. And then I went and saw my
They have
mom.
vinyl windows for sale there.
Yes.
A lot of them.
Yes, and vinyl houses because it's so hot out there. But then I had to go there, and then in the middle of the day, I had to cut short Mother's Day with my mom so that I could take my son back to Satan because she has to have him during
Allegedly Satan.
No, she's Satan, so she could have him back during Mother's Day with her by a certain time. time, and she lives out the polar opposite end of the universe in Ventura County.
Wow.
And then I had to come back, and then I had a bunch of crap to do, and then I didn't get with my wife to do Mother's Day with her until about 4:30, 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
And by that time, she's done.
Yeah.
She
and
didn't
then
wanna do
and then
it.
I had to leave at like 7:30.
Wow. Was anything okay?
No, it was a crappy long day.
By the way, 25% of Americans forgot that yesterday was Mother's Day. That's a lot.
I wish I could forget. It cost me a lot of money. There's
God.
too many moms.
Could you just stop with the anger?
No!
Mother hater.
Look at all the presents I had to buy.
Well, I know I can't give like kind of the drama that Stench delivered in that story, so we'll wait for him. Oh, there you are. Anyway, 1-877-487-9999. It's well, thank you very much. I don't know what it was.
I thought it was yours.
No, it wasn't mine. Anyway, Danny is going to be doing the Today Show. And have we located the Dan?
The Dan is in New York and still unaccounted for.
Okay, well, that can happen, I suppose.
Could be the Dan, though.
Right. And yeah, I gotcha. Anyway, so the Dan is in New York. He's going to be on the Today Show, and we'll all tune in together and watch the Dan. He'll be talking about the Partridge Family remake or something. I don't know really what it is.
They're doing like a whole search for the new
next
Partridge family,
family?
and I think they're using the old members to find them.
Now, are they going to call it the Partridge Family, or if their names are the Smiths, are they going to call them like the Smiths?
They're going to call them Partridge Bitches 2.
But you know what I mean? Like, are they taking on their name?
I think so. I think it's a complete remake of the show. Just redone.
And is it, well, you don't know. I mean, is it a whole family or is it just individuals?
No, individuals.
Individuals. Yeah. And then what will they do with this new Partridge Family label?
It'll air on VH1 as new episodes of the Partridge Family after they do this talent search that Danny's part of.
Yeah, they're redoing the whole show. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yes. That's crazy. Wow, that would be interesting. All right, anyway, we, during the songs and commercials...
Found the Dan!
Oh, my God.
Hello, Dan! Where are you, Dan?
We found the Dan.
Okay, well, when you get in there, make them dial us up and call me back. Okay, bye.
I
found the Dan!
Where is the Dan?
He's walking up the street to the studio right now from the Today Show studios over to the radio station studios.
Oh, so he's done.
Yeah, and they'll call us up in a minute.
All right, so what time can we see him, do you think?
8 in the 8 o'clock hour of Los Angeles. So what's that? The 9 o'clock hour of Colorado.
Okay. Hey, by the way, I'm looking at the news, and there's like this semi-truck. It looks like Downey Road and the 5 or something. Does that make sense?
The 5, Downey Avenue?
I don't know, but there's a semi-truck all the way across. How is it possible that a semi-truck can flip over and block all 5 lanes?
That's cool.
I know. Like, he got all the lanes, every one of them, not even like a peep to go through.
It's the strikers. They did it on purpose.
He rolls it now,
Yeah.
right? All right. It sounds like that when we come back, the Dan will be with us, which we are graced with his presence, and we are blessed to have the Dan. And I'm sure there'll be some stories about the wedding that you guys will want to hear as well. Because the Dan, not a good dad. But we'll give you all that gossip later. By the way, I just found out it's the northbound 5 freeway at the 710. Yeah. Northbound 5 at the 710. So it's actually on the 5, right?
Yes, it's
Okay.
on the 5 where the 710 comes.
And
in.
it's a semi truck, and it's it's blocking all 5 lanes. It's flipped over, and it's all 5 lanes. And they say 4 hours at least it's going to be shut down.
That's a nightmare.
No, it's terrible. It's like, ugh. Because it also jacks up the 710. So if you're on, I don't know what, just call in sick or something. I mean, because right now you're just stuck there, and like it's just such a waste of time. I hope you brought stuff to do in your car.
I don't keep anything to do in my car.
See, you know what? I go shopping in my car. Like yesterday, I didn't know. Well, actually, Saturday night, I didn't know I was going to spend the night at my girlfriend's beach house. And after the wedding, we went back to the beach house.
Right.
So then they're like, "Why don't you just spend the night?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I went shopping in my car. I opened up my trunk. I had like a new shirt from the Gap I could wear. I had some shorts in there. I had an old weird shirt I hadn't seen in a long time. Felt like a present.
Right.
I have like some makeup that I never bring out. It's just in the trunk. I go shopping.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it is. I like it. And then I have like my bag of stuff. And you have to
Right.
bring busy work. You never know when the freeway is going to be shut down, Jack.
Okay.
You've got to be prepared. Anyway, all right, so 4 hours northbound 5 freeway at the 710. That's a good day. We're waiting on the Dan. And as we wait on the Dan, I'd just like to slam you low-life scum suckers for a moment. Now, I have many occasion been a low-life scum sucker, and so please note that I'm not absolutely ridiculing you, because I would say that my low-life scum-sucking moments are when I was on bowling league on Tuesday nights, although I enjoyed it immensely. But it was kind of retarded that I had my own shoes, and I had a bag, and it had like a strap, and it followed me.
Right, you're fully invested at that point.
Yeah, I was on a bowling league.
Right.
We had a name and everything. So that was like a low-life scum sucker thing, because some of those people are bottom of the barrel, and I knew this, but yet I fed in. But last night, I was watching the news, and all these women were talking about Mother's Day or the Lakers game, what they were going to do. And I watched these women sitting in folded-out lawn chairs, sitting on the concrete, sitting all around Universal City Walk, not at the Laker game. They're sitting at City Walk, watching the big screen or whatever that Tron TV is.
Right.
And say, I wouldn't rather be anywhere else for my Mother's Day but watching the Lakers right here at City Walk.
Wow.
That was their Mother's Day.
They did that for Friends, too. I saw that on the news. It's a new thing. You bring your lounge chairs up there and tune in to whatever you want to watch, I
But
guess.
it's Mother's Day.
No, I know. The last thing I do is drag my mom to Universal City
Yeah.
Walk.
Here, Mom. Here's some really hot concrete. Pull out your lawn chair and watch the Lakers. Happy Mother's Day.
Right.
It's totally low-life scum sucker.
While foreign tourists are walking by trying
Yeah.
to shop and go to go on rides and stuff.
I mean, there were a few low-life scum suckers at the NASCAR. I mean, where they took out their teeth because, it wasn't dressy enough. And their teeth is part of their ensemble.
Right.
But that is, and I'm sorry if you went or whatever, but when your husband tells you to sit on concrete and watch the Lakers and that's your Mother's Day gift, I'm sorry, you're a low-life scum sucker. And I'm sticking with that. And I feel okay about my decision. So there. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that. Yes, bowling league is bad. That is worse. Jack, any low-life scum-sucking moments that you can recall?
Oh, my God. Not off the top of my head, but I'm sure I've had many.
Where you just know that, oh, my God. I'm trailer.
I had a lot more of those before I got married and realized or was told that I do everything wrong and that, that might have crossed my mind. Hey,
Right.
that'd be a good thing to do until I got married and realized you can't do that.
No.
No.
It's low-life scum-sucker.
Right.
But you know what? It's that thing about, how doctors and lawyers and all those people, they dress up as Harley riders for like Sundays. Maybe just once in a while it's fun to be a low-life scum sucker.
I think so.
Yeah.
I like to do stuff like that.
You're right. So like maybe those people were really like nice Orange County, well-to-do, women that usually are at the country club or at the yacht club or at the, whatever brunch. But no, on this particular Mother's Day, they decided to be low-life scum suckers and sit on hot concrete.
I don't think anybody who goes to the country club ends up at City
Yeah,
Walk
you
watching-
never know. Those are the same women that sometimes become Harley wives. They get on the back of their husband's Harleys, and the other day they were at the yacht club.
Okay.
By the way, we are the low-life scum suckers when it comes to the yacht club. The yacht club is right there in Long Beach, right?
Right.
So we're on the Sea-Doos, and we just raise our beers to them.
That's cool. Or pull up next to him and
Yeah,
hang out.
because we have beers on the Sea-Doos, which feels weird because we're driving right by the Coast Guard, and they don't say anything, and you just have open beer and you're drinking it while driving your Sea-Doo.
It's okay.
I don't know.
I gotta get me a boat.
But we just cheer all the people, and they're like, Buffy and all her people. We're like, Bud Light rocks! Woo! Party on! Where's the kegger? And we're like low-life scum suckers. I mean, bad ones. But we know we're not inside.
Well, no,
so
that's
like
fun.
it's like a temporary low-life scum sucker.
Right.
Stench. Any moments that you've been a low-life scum sucker?
Today?
Ever.
Ever?
No, it's those times I feel like bowling league for me was low life scum sucker. I liked it, but it was also not really me, but it was fun because I was a low life scum sucker. But I was telling Jack that yesterday it was just tragic to see all the women on the concrete watching the Laker game going, this is my Mother's Day at Universal City Walk.
Oh, I know.
What?
I would used to participate in street racing with my friends for money. My friend had this real fast car, and we'd go out and we'd all pull our money up and race and
Yeah, I saw that on
on the
Grease.
streets.
Did somebody get out with like two scarves and do the whole thing?
It was a whole thing.
Actually, the better one was the one with Kevin Bacon. And they had the two tractors and they were coming towards each
they
other.
played chicken.
Yeah.
That was Footloose, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Woo,
And they-
Footloose.
They raised their barrels and then his shoestring got caught on the throttle. You guys don't remember?
I remember that.
That is a low-life scum-sucking moment. What, Jack?
I would do that though. See, I would play chicken on the tractors. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. I don't know, but then I always worry about my shoestring getting caught.
Right.
Yeah.
Wear slip-ons.
Thank you, Jack. I hate those.
Oh, and I have others.
What?
Dragging other motorists out of their cars while punching them in the face at red lights.
That's not
different.
low-life scum-sucker moments. That's just stupid.
That's like straight out of the trailer park.
Oh, my God. Please tell me you didn't do that over the weekend.
No. It's been a long, long time since I've done
How
that.
come every game we play, you have some criminal thing you've done?
It's not
I know.
criminal.
Every time, isn't it
Yeah,
true?
remember like innocent things we did drunk
Yeah.
and he killed some guy with a trash can?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
That wasn't me. That was a story I knew of.
Okay, I have a low-life scum-sucking moment. I'm dancing with some guy a Saturday night, and he twirls me, and my shoes fly off. And I don't get them.
And who was the guy?
It was that cousin Eddie, that doofus with the ponytail. Like, every time, I don't know what happens to me, but I have cocktails, and then I just want to dance. So,
But you already put out the warning at the wedding
I
before
know.
we ever hit the
I
reception.
know.
Jamie said, "Stop me if I, find that crazy German uncle or the
I
cousin."
do
or-
every time, right?
Well, when I left, she was yelling at Alina.
I'm like, come on, Alina. She's like, how my foot hurts. Well, she just told me that I was supposed to kneel at the church. I'm like, I'm not Catholic. I'm not kneeling. And she goes, it's out of respect.
No.
So I'm like, I'm not kneeling. I'm not Catholic. I'm not going to kneel. So then I was telling her on the dollar dance, I'm like, it's out of respect. You got to do the dollar dance because it's out of respect. Throwing it right back in her face. About the respect. Oh, yeah. And so I told you guys, don't let me dance with the weird cousin. And this guy had like a long mullet and a rubber band.
Oh, that rocks.
Did you see him?
I don't know who it was. I left.
And then the last weekend before that, I was at Buster's in Long Beach, dancing with Sweater Boy.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
At Buster's?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
There's others.
Shoot her.
I don't want to talk about them. Oh, well. All right. Low-life scum-sucker moments. Those of us that have participated but don't really live it. It's just pretend. 1-877-487-9999. Where's the Dan?
I don't know.
Dan's still missing it. Missing in action. Where's the Dan? I see everybody on phones. I'm guessing they're trying to get the Dan. I mean, he's there, but he's not available or something. I don't know.
I love the panic that goes through.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody runs around.
It's like, maybe we should have thought about this. Oh, I don't know, on Friday. That's okay. Anyway, the Dan is going to be on, I almost said, this is Not So Silent Night.
They'll be there too.
What the hell was that? I should have just kept my trap shut. Good Morning America?
Today's show.
Yeah, exactly, Jack.
Right.
I knew it was one of those Today Show, right? So the Dan's going to be on the Today Show talking about whatever the Dan talks about. And in the meantime, we're talking about low-life scum-sucking moments. And it's either when, people decide to be a low-life scum-sucker for a moment, or people actually live the lifestyle of a low-life scum-sucker. And I felt really sorry for some of the women that were sitting on the concrete last night. I saw it on the news at Universal City Walk, watching the Lakers play, and they were saying, and delighted, by the way, saying, this is my Mother's Day. This is all I want to be doing. Sitting on hot concrete watching the Lakers.
Lakers!
I live in the valley. It was hot yesterday too.
Yeah.
To be sitting out there in the sun.
Because I wondered, if all these husbands that are such Laker fans, if they were really going to interrupt Mother's Day to watch the Lakers. Well, no, they just set them on concrete.
That's funny.
By the way, the Lakers won, yeah? Game 3.
They won big time. They were really good yesterday. But I have issues with Laker fans.
Yes?
You know how when it gets into the playoffs, everybody starts putting the Laker flags on their cars?
yeah.
And they become like every other car in Los Angeles has those on them? Okay, you don't see quite the epidemic breaking out yet of the Laker flags. You see a couple, but it's not crazy, and it's because these loser fans don't have faith that the team's going to win this series. They started off
I
down.
don't care.
They started off down 2-0, so they didn't put
I
their
don't
flags
care.
up. If they win this series, Laker flags will be everywhere.
Do you understand
again.
what you're saying?
I hate that people are bandwagon fans here.
It's always been like that, dumbass, with every sport.
I hate Los Angeles.
Well, why don't you just be a full-fledged Laker fan all year long?
I'll wear a Kobe jersey everywhere I go. I'll be Fat Shaq.
Too late. Jack, will you push the first call to the day? God.
The first call of the
Fat
day with
Shack.
Jamie and Danny.
Fat Shaq!
Is that like Love Shack?
I will be a lovey.
This is when we know what we get for the morning. You know what I mean? Based on the dance. Yeah. Some inside jokes going on without the Dan. We'll try to make you privy to him without his wife telling him because you know she's
minutes.
listening. Reporting back to the Dan.
The Dan in minutes.
In minutes?
Moments.
Wow, I'm excited. All right, first calls of the day. Low-life scum-sucking moments and apparently the Fat Shaq Laker controversy.
I'm going to cover my car in Laker flags.
By the way, side note, don't forget the Northbound 5 at the 710. You guys are jacked up. It's not good out there. There's a semi across all 12 lanes.
Not a Laker fan.
Marla!
Hi.
Hi, you're the first caller. Oh my God, it's crazy. What can we do for you?
So basically, I was planning on taking my mother and my grandmother to the country club for brunch, but neither one of them eat enough to justify the $25.95 for the brunch. So my mom had the gastro bypass surgery, so she can eat only 5 ounces of food, and then my grandmother only weighs 90 pounds. So, basically I said, okay, well, I'm going to go play golf. Then I'm going to go and bring you McDonald's. The saddest thing is they were happy.
Oh, no, that's tragic. Don't they have a senior citizen price?
No, not at the country club.
Oh, not at the country club. No. So you went and played golf while the mom and the grandma ate McDonald's?
No, I played golf at 7, and I met them at my mom's house at 12:30
And with McDonald's in hand?
with McDonald's in hand.
And what did the grandma want?
She wanted chicken McNuggets.
And what kind of dipping sauce does grandma like?
Grandmother doesn't like any form of condiments.
Really? No dipping sauce?
Nope, no dipping sauce.
Do you know that not only have I never had a Big Mac, but I've never had the McNuggets?
Oh, you're totally missing out on the Big Mac thing. That's what I had.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
The McNuggets are all white meat,
Well, I know, but I'm afraid of them. I don't know why. It just seems they seem scary.
If you're a big fan of Thousand Island dressing,
Yeah.
go for the Big Mac.
Okay, all right. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you very much, Marla. Hold on the line. You're the first call of the day. Great. By the way, my favorite low-life scum sucker of the world, a fan flashed her breast at Ben Affleck as he chatted with the daughter of the U.S. president. Hopeful, actually, John Kerry. I guess Ben Affleck has been seen with his Vanessa Kerry. Have you guys seen her?
No.
I don't either. I guess she's a looker.
Is she drunk like them Bush kids?
It doesn't say, but it does say that she's like a medical student, so that's good. Anyway, so a chick just said, "You're effing hot," and show the boobs.
She's rich. He should marry her.
Well, she didn't show her boobs.
I know, but that chick's the Heinz heir.
She is?
Yeah, the mom, Carrie's wife, is the Heinz heiress, and I would imagine his daughter's going to get it next.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Anyway, hey, did we find the Dan?
The Dan is on the telephone right now,
Uh-huh.
and they're working on the little machine to get him up from New York.
All right. Hey, the Dan.
Hey!
Hey, it's the Dan, everybody. Dan. We are keeping an eye on, what's the show?
The Today Show.
The Today Show. I'm sorry. The Today Show, and we are expecting your appearance.
Well, you know what? Far be it from me to not want to plug anything I do. You know me.
Well, right.
But
Don't
I
disappoint, Dan.
I got to tell you, I wouldn't stay. You know, if you're going to be late for any appointments rather than watch the Today Show, I'd go ahead and keep your appointment.
Why is that? What happened?
Well, it was weird. You know what? It was, first of all, I figured it was going to be Shirley, David, and myself. And, you know, and they've got me and Shirley and David, and then Suzanne, who played Tracy on The Partridge Family, and also Brian Forster, who played Chris. And they go, so, Shirley, what are you doing? And Shirley says, well, I'm on Broadway with my son Patrick. David, what are you doing? I'm executive producing the show, and I'm on tour in Europe. And they go to me, what are you doing? I said, I co-host the Jamie and Danny show. I got all our plugs in Star 98.7.
Oh, very nice.
And then they go to Suzanne, what are you doing? She goes, I manage Famous Footwear.
Oh.
It was just really weird, man, and just awkward. So I
I love Famous Footwear.
Well, I yelled out, you know, it's really famous footwear when Will Tracy helps you.
Well,
but
right.
It, you know, when she's, how do I put this nicely? She's a substantial girl.
Oh, girthy. Oh.
So it is literally, although it's 2 full segments, like a 5-minute segment and a 6-minute segment, there's 5 of us. So there's really not a lot happening but us sitting there looking something like an aging Partridge Family.
So you got to say, anything else? Did you get anything else in that we can look for?
Nothing great. I mean, the only thing I did that was important to me and I guess us was Jamie and Danny Star 98.
Right. No, that was good. But I mean, like, can we look for like something like where, you know, like that other guy cut you off or something and pissed you off?
No, I think, and I don't know if this makes it to the air or not. I just shouted it out at the end because Susan Day, of course, did not show up.
Oh, she didn't?
No, she didn't. And like David said to me, you know, Susan's not here, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna say something about it because I think that's rude and blah blah blah. And David said, leave this moment to me. Let me have this moment.
Oh no, the Dan cannot be shut out by that guy.
Oh, I can. I can be shut up by Cassidy. He's like my older brother, and he wanted to say something, and so we go out there, and right as we go out there, they said, and by the way, Katie has a huge surprise for you.
Uh-oh.
So I call Cassidy over, and I say, be really careful. This could be a big surprise. Susan Day is going to walk out. So if you say, you know, how come this haggard old bitch won't be on the show?
Right.
Or something like that.
It's going to be bad. Yeah.
Not that I feel that Susan happens to be any of those things, but if you say
Can I guess the surprise?
Yeah.
Mr. Kincaid.
Wrong. Not only was he not there, he demanded money.
Oh, Mr. Kincaid, rock on.
Mr. Kincaid demanded cash money, or he was like, well, you got to remember, he's an old guy.
Yeah.
He's an old guy. Now, although Shirley is 70, and she's not only doing this, she's doing 8 shows a week on Broadway. So it's not like, and God, does she look good. She looks unbelievably good. So she's on Broadway. You know, David literally flew in from London last night, did this show, and is flying back to England. So everybody, you know, Suzanne has a famous footwear to manage, and God knows what could be going on there by this time.
Right. And what about the youngest kid?
He says, as I understand it, he races cars, but I don't know what kind of cars. I've been hearing this for years, and I've
Slot
seen
cars.
pictures of him. He races cars.
Those slot ones that you stand up, you know, in Pasadena, and you have a remote control.
Yeah.
I think he teaches at a racing school somewhere up north or something like that. I think he really does it.
Okay, well at least he really does something.
I guess. I guess. But I mean, like I said, if you want to see, if you're one of those people who grew up with the Partridge Family and you want to see, aside from Susan, what we all look like now, then go ahead and watch the Today Show, and you will absolutely see that. If you're looking for a lot of stellar, clever moments, I'm afraid they're not really there.
I think you have it on the wrong channel, Stench.
The Today Show's on CBS, right?
No.
NBC?
No, NBC.
I had it on
Katie
NBC
Couric.
earlier, but they're not. It's not on here yet. Is what's
Oh,
going on.
okay.
Starts at
Right,
7.
it's not on there yet.
Okay.
The only thing I said that I thought was even minorly amusing is for some reason I think Shirley must have a tie-in with the merchandising somehow, because we went to break and there was kind of this, not commotion, but a moment about somebody's going to be upset about the merchandising. So we came back and Shirley handed her a 30-year limited edition Partridge Family lunchbox and said, and by the way, this lunchbox is in the Smithsonian Institute, and I yelled out, and so is Susan Day.
Oh.
That was my only moment.
Oh,
But God bless Susan.
The Dan comes off mean and hateful.
What was
I
the
did-
surprise?
Yeah, what was the surprise?
You'll see it when you see it.
Okay. Oh, nice tease.
Butt
Yeah.
face.
Butt face?
But can I tell you, cute and nice and sweet, but nothing. Because I also expected the first Chris Partridge.
Right.
You know, I thought he'd come out, and I thought to relive old time sakes, I would just beat his ass right there on television. But
there was no opportunity to beat his ass on the Today Show?
No, because I beat his ass the first year of the Partridge Family so badly. That's why they dumped him.
Right.
I thought that'd be kind of funny to smack him in the head. But it's nothing like that. It's kind of a cutesy little moment, and it's kind of cute. If you're a fan of the Today Show, I think you'll think this is cute.
I'm a fan of the Today Show, Jack.
I'm a fan of the
Just
Today
yesterday,
Show.
I was telling you how much of a fan of the Today Show I am. My God, Jack, where were you? I told you.
By the way, Matt's hair does not look any better up close.
It doesn't?
No, it's why does he keep it like that?
I don't know. Now, what about that Al Yoker? What's his name?
Al Roker.
Yeah.
Looks great. Was very. Everybody was super nice to me. Everybody,
Well,
seemed
did
real
you
happy
think they were going to
see
be mean to you?
me. I've been on talk shows where they've been mean to you before.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear the sad news? I don't know, since, y'all have that retro thing going on, but, the oldest, Osmond died. Well, not the oldest. The mom died.
Yeah, I had heard that actually.
Now, do you send flowers to Donnie?
No,
Why?
I don't know him well enough to send dead mom flowers.
All right. I didn't know. It seemed like a thing to do. You guys have a lot in common.
You think?
Yeah, you have the Osmonds, the Partridges, remember?
Pyramid?
Pyramid.
Yeah, but I don't really, I've been on the Jerry Springer show half a dozen times. I'm not about to send him flowers.
You fought him. That's right.
you know what? I did fight him.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that you should send some flowers. Sorry to hear about your loss of your mom.
Where do you send
She
them?
had a
The
lot of
Pyramid?
kids, and her coochie's probably really big. What?
Utah.
Right.
That's where you send them.
Just send flowers to Utah, to Donnie Osmond, care of Utah.
Well, yeah, Salt Lake City, they know where the Mama Smurf is. Everybody
I
knows
think-
where they are. It's like
I
a
think they're-
compound.
I think they're from Provo, actually.
Well, it's an Osmond compound.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I will do. I will send flowers to the Osmond family compound.
Yeah, it'll make its way.
Courtesy of Utah.
Very nice. How many kids she
Hey,
have?
I just heard a big beep. We might be on the radio.
Huh?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let me just try something. Am I with you now? Hello?
No.
No.
No?
No.
I'm hearing you guys through my headphones. So I'm actually hearing the radio show, but you're not hearing me?
Well, Chuck is right here. Chuck is Chuck. What are you doing over there, Chuck? You working on the stuff?
He's dialing.
Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Chuck is dialing. Chuck doesn't want to talk to you. Chuck said he hates you.
Chuck doesn't hate me. Chuck loves me.
Chuck, you hate the Dan?
Yes, you do.
You better hate the Dan today, Chuck. He's making your life miserable. You got to be here at this time of the morning. Hate the Dan, Chuck. Chuck doesn't hate the Dan.
Chuck won't hate the dad. Chuck and I are like brothers.
Whoa!
Oh, there you are.
Look, Chuck even made you work now, which totally pisses me off.
So can I hang up now? Am I on the
Yeah.
radio?
Oh, you're on the radio, Daddy Bonaducci. Welcome to the radio show. Chuck,
guys.
ladies and gentlemen.
Chuck.
Chuck.
Chuck, you suck.
Now, Chuck, I am in fact hearing my voice back in my head.
He's
here in a
hearing his
loop.
voice
Take him
back
out
in
of
his head.
Take him out of send.
He said that
Take
that's
me
the
out of
drugs
sight.
that you're doing.
No, it's not that. They give me an entirely different feeling.
Oh, they do? Well, that's a shame because that'd be kind of cool. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly. I can just hear me back.
He can hear him back. All right. Chuck said talk or something.
I had Chuck.
Can
Hey,
you?
you did it.
Chuck, everybody!
Chuck's like a genius.
Hey!
Chuck, you rock, buddy.
Chuck. All right. Anyway, it's time to take a little break. When we come back, more with Bonaduce. We'll hear about, obviously, Mother's Day. We'll do a little Mother's Day recapping. And we have to talk about the world's longest Catholic, Hispanic, crazy-ass wedding.
Oh my God, good. You haven't covered all that yet?
Oh, well, some of it, but not all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, how can you cover all of it in under a 4.5-hour show?
And also a little bit of Survivor. Jack says it was a ripoff. And why doesn't anyone care? A sad story about, what is your name? Fat Shack?
Fat Shack.
Fat Shack. Okay, is the Dan there?
Right here.
Oh, good, Dan. All right, I have to take this phone call because they've been holding forever, and we're monitoring the Today Show to see when you're on.
Well, oh, good. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no problem. All right, hold on. Let's see if you can hear these. Oh, yeah. Dave, hi.
Hi.
Hi. Dan, can you
Hey.
hear the Dave?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Hi, Dave. Go ahead.
Good. How's it going?
It's good.
Hey, I have some information about the SWAT officer that you thought was pretty good looking about a week ago.
Yeah, the Mr. SWAT guy that I met at the LAPD golf tournament.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You were curious why he didn't ask you out or ask for your phone number?
Well, it wasn't that. It was just that, it's funny because women always expect men to take the lead, but then,
Right.
it was that whole thing. But then men expect women nowadays to take the lead.
Well,
Let me ask you,
he's
have I
married with
missed
5
something?
kids. That's why he didn't.
Oh.
That's why he didn't.
Why
do
isn't he
anything.
wearing a ring?
2 reasons. Sometimes you get hooked up on something if during the
They
job.
always use that as an excuse. They do.
Well, and then also, if some bad guy wants to go after him, he could go after his family.
Oh, that's well, you
Yeah,
know
the-
what? He didn't act like he was married with 5 kids. Let me just tell you that right now off the record.
he was very flattered, but he was like, it couldn't happen.
Well, no, you're right. It couldn't happen. Oh my God, he couldn't afford for it to happen.
There's
You're
no
married
way.
with 1 kid. You think about it, right? Because it's 1 kid, but you're married with 5 kids. That is a costly kiss.
Oh,
He'd
yeah.
have to be shooting
yeah.
people all day.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. All right, thanks, Dave. Well, good to know.
You're welcome.
Because I felt, like a little bit of rejection because there was like a little of that flirting thing going on. And then,
Well, now you know.
married with 5 kids.
Yeah, married with 5 kids. Assuming, and I can't imagine that the SWAT team gets paid by the shot, but he'd have to be sniping people all day long just to afford the child support.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. He seemed way too hip and cool to have 5 kids. Because those people seem beaten down. Like they're just
People with
tired.
5 kids?
Oh, yeah. They seem like done.
I think their wives are more beaten down. First of all, I can't imagine that delivering 5 children does anything good to your insides.
Well, sometimes they come out.
You mean through the stomach? Like cesarean?
No. Vaginally.
That's what I mean. Delivering 5 kids cannot be good on your body makeup.
Right,
Just being
right.
pregnant, that kind of wear and tear has got to be tough.
All right, let's take a little break, the Dan Man. And when we come back, did you know on Sunday, Andy Kaufman will come back from the dead?
I've been curious about this.
Yes, we will discuss in moments. Alrighty then, Danny is in New York live from the Today Show set, I think. Anyway, right now they're doing all this stuff about those Iraqi prisoners, and we sure did like
that's
to get
bad.
them naked.
Yeah, well, I think the point was to humiliate them, and I think naked was high on that list.
Yeah, naked seems to be the thing. Naked, photographed, and also with they're saying that a dog, the police dogs or not police dog, whatever dogs that they had there, bit them.
I forget what newspaper it is. I think it might be Washington, but I'm not positive. But there's it could be the New York Times as well. But anyway, they published a photograph of an Iraqi prisoner being tormented by guard dogs snarling at him. And then they say they chose not to print the next photograph, which is the prisoner laying on the ground covered in blood from his leg, dripping blood from his leg.
Right, which they say obviously is from a dog bite.
That would be
so.
tenement. That, you know what? I got to go with that's actual torture.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the dogs or the dog bite.
No.
But anyway, so that's what's going on today, right now on the Today Show. But when the Bonadooch makes his way on the Today Show, we will certainly bring it to you. Bring it. Also, speaking of which, and Stench and I were talking this kind of off the air, but Stench, if you can make your way to the studio because this involves you.
Good, I miss stench.
Winona and Naomi Judd are on today's Oprah, and it's a whole thing where Winona finally gets to tell her mom everything she's ever thought of her. and this, that, and it looks really mean. It looks like an angry Oprah.
Well, didn't they do this, though? Wasn't this whole family on Oprah and did this like a season or two ago?
No.
And now they're coming back for a checkup or something?
No, it was that Winona, had a slow speed come apart, but she was still like nice to her mom and all this stuff. But this one sounds really bitchy where she's like,
Yeah.
And then Naomi goes, wait a minute, I didn't call you fat.
Yeah.
She's
the
not
mom
nice.
says, I never said anything about your weight.
Yeah, and she says, I called you PHAT, okay? Well, she doesn't say that, but here's what Stench and I were talking about. And it's those family issues, which are all so very popular around Mother's Day and all that stuff. It all comes to light, doesn't it, friends? A couple of things. There are those families that suppress them, which seems like the Judds kind of acted like it was non-existent until it took the Opster to bring them all to the foreground. But then there are things like Stench's family. Now, Stench's family has some weird issues that at first I took up for them, but now it's so jacked up what's happening in your house.
But what's weird about it is they all like suppress their emotions about
Right.
this. I'm the only one that speaks up, and everyone's mad at me.
And that was the thing I was talking about. It's like, don't you feel like the biggest turd when you're the only one that's making an issue about something and everybody else is like, what? We're fine with it. It's fine. But everybody's angry about it, but nobody will talk about it.
Yeah.
So
Now, did I miss the setup
no,
on
I'm going
this,
to
or
tell
do
you.
we know the issue?
Well, no, I'm going to tell you. What had happened was
What
Stench.
happened was,
Okay. My brother is divorced, as I am divorced.
Right.
Right? My brother is divorced, and he and his wife have 2 kids. His ex-wife got remarried and
Moved on with her life.
and has 2 more kids now, younger than the children that she has with my brother.
That you have no relation to at all because
No.
she's moved on with her life.
Yeah, they're not even related
They got
to
a
us through
divorce
marriage.
and they got there. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Every time I go to my parents' house, those 2 kids are at my parents' house.
And they're not related.
And they call my mom and dad like grandma and grandpa. These 2
Right.
kids, which are unrelated
That's weird.
whatsoever. And I've always had issue with it, and my brother absolutely was livid with it for a long time, but he wouldn't say anything. He's the kind of guy that's just he's mad, he'll be quiet, and I always spoke out about it because I couldn't it drove me
It'd
crazy.
be like this, Danny. It'd be like if me and Fancy Pants had kids. If we had kids and I took them over to the doctor, my ex-husband's, to his parents' house all the time and had dinner with them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
well,
why?
I get what it's like. I understand what's happening, but I gotta tell you, I am flatly with Stench here. That is, as far as I can
Crazy.
tell,
But hold on,
completely inappropriate.
It gets
gets
worse.
weirder.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so yesterday, I show up at my parents' house for Mother's Day. My brother's there with his
New wife.
now, his current wife,
Yeah.
who he's been with for years now.
Right.
They are there, and I see this cool thing sitting on the mantle at my parents' house, and it says, like, grandchildren are love or whatever, and it's a thing that's engraved with all the pictures of the grandchildren on
Very
it.
nice, cute.
And then I look and I see those 2 kids are on there.
That have
right?
no relation to anybody.
And so I'm
Next
like,
to the actual grandkids?
Yeah.
with
Yes!
them all on one big plaque. So then I start complaining about it, and this is where it gets weird. My brother's new wife is the one that had the plaque made, including the kids that aren't related to us.
All right, let's assume that the brother's new wife is doing her very, very best to make peace and bought
She is.
what, in my opinion, is an inappropriate gift. The people that make me very nervous in this are the ex-wife
Yeah.
and your parents.
Yeah.
Oh, I fight my parents on this all the time.
But you know what? But maybe they included the kids that aren't really related because they have half brothers and sisters on that plaque. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have 2 half-sisters on there.
Right. So maybe they had to be on the plaque for political reasons.
No, she was really just being nice because she knows, and she said to me, she goes, look, deal with it. That's the way your parents see these kids as their grandkids. And, I mean, every time I call, they're there. Every time I show up unannounced, they're there.
But
they're
why
always
doesn't
at my parents'
why
house.
doesn't your new sister-in-law throw a fit? If my ex-husband's, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, these kids have nothing to do with your mom and dad. Nothing.
Nothing.
She's
Nothing.
not married to anybody that's related to him. Nothing. And so why does the new wife? Why is she okay with this?
I think she's decided, and she's a bigger person than me,
Yeah,
because
me too.
she can sit there and
Nobody's
just
a bigger person than you.
and just say that either you're going to fight, and this is going to go on, because believe me, the ex-wife, most selfish person in the world, is not going away and does not care
And why doesn't
what
your
kind of
husband?
conflict this is.
Well,
and then
or
my
husband.
brother's just the quiet guy, and then I'm the loud. You're like, I know this bothers my brother, because if I were to find out my ex-wife had stepped foot in my parents' house, I would disown my entire family and never speak to them again, and they know that.
But here's the
my
problem.
brother's nicer than me.
Here's the problem, and a lot of you can relate to this. When somebody has issues in the family, and either A, has confided in you, or B, you know it bothers them, but they won't say anything, don't take it upon yourself, because they never speak to you again.
Oh, what happened?
I disagree. This is a blatant, as far as and I'm in New York, so I can say this about the big man.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, this is a blatant betrayal of Stench's brother by his mother and father.
I know, but
Yes.
the problem is sometimes if nobody else is getting involved and it's really not your issue, then
It's my issue. Because
It is his issue.
Here's another thing I don't like. I don't like having to bring, like, okay, my new baby's coming over there, and there's all these pictures of these two kids that we have no idea who they are. Who's that? You got to say, oh, well, those are the kids of your uncle's ex-wife that are related to your cousins. It's a whole convoluted thing.
just say they're orphans.
I want to protect my child from this whole drama of
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
it's not your place. Trust me on this. They-
Raise
No,
a fist,
it is my
Stench.
place.
Don't
It's my
listen to her.
brother.
It's
And-
not. It's your brother's place.
And I love my brother, and I'm looking out for my brother. I am not gonna. I will not stand by as this happens and let my parents at least get off easy on this. I'm gonna ride them every step of the way and make
Take
their
it
lives
from-
miserable.
Trust me, they'll never talk to you again.
I don't care. They're betraying my brother.
On.
Done.
All right, here's what's going on. Whoa, Jack, that's loud. First of all, Danny's in New York. He did the Today Show, so we are monitoring the Today Show. And when Danny and the Pips pop on, we will certainly put that on the air. In the meantime, we were kind of talking about earlier this morning. We were talking about Mother's Day and all the, all the drama. Some of you have family mama drama, and you have 3 different wives and all these kids and Mother's Day and blah. And then Stench was telling the story about how his brother and his ex-sister-in-law have divorced. She now has a new husband, new kids, totally separate from the family. But yet she still hangs out with Stench's mom. She brings the kids over that are not related in any shape, form, or fashion to
Right.
the mom and dad, Stench's mom and dad. They call them grandma and grandpa, but they're not grandma and grandpa.
Right? They're not any blood relation at all.
No,
No, not at all.
not even through marriage.
And it
No, and here's it's funny because if Gretchen and I were ever to get a divorce, my family would naturally gravitate towards her as a quality human being. My family would choose sides with Gretchen because she's just a better all-around guy than I am. But if I said, hey, you know what? This hurts my feelings that her kids with this new guy are in the house, my family, out of loyalty to me, would dump them.
Well, but that's the problem. The fact of the matter is that imagine you didn't say anything about it and you went on, okay, and it kind of bugged you, and you confided in your sister that it bugged you, and now your sister is raising hell every time, every high, flipping out about it, but you are not saying anything. And that's what's happening at Stench's house.
Well, that's not fair.
I'm looking out.
No, listen, I have lived this, and I told you, if it doesn't involve you, it doesn't involve you. Otherwise, you get sucked in, everybody turns on you, they're all mad at you.
Let them be mad at me. I don't care because I'm mad at them. I'm mad at everyone in this scenario except for my brother.
Well, you should be mad at him. He's the one that it affects.
No, he voiced it initially, and they just were like, oh, well, just because you got divorced doesn't mean we're cutting our ties. And I understand that. They should absolutely be friendly with her. They should absolutely...
Why?
They should, because she was a part of our family for a long
time, so.
and I agree with that. I wouldn't want my parents to shun her and be mean to her or anything like that. I only want them to do that to my ex-wife. But with my brother's ex-wife, I can see, but to me, it goes way across the line.
When
the
they're
new kids
there
are calling them grandma and grandpa, my parents go over to their house and do stuff for them.
But
and
I
don't
think,
like it.
again, you get so involved in this, and It's your parent or it's your brother's responsibility.
All right.
It's
I have a
it's
question,
the puss new
Stench.
husband. He's the guy that needs to
now
put the line
it's
down.
everybody's fault
Okay,
but your
Well,
brother.
I'll
I have a
right
question
now.
for Stench.
What?
Stench, here's my question. How many, not counting these two, how many real grandchildren do your mother and father have?
4.
4.
Yes.
So let's say they have $100 at Christmas time to buy presents. That means every real legitimate blood relative to them gets a $25 gift. Now you jump in these strangers, and everybody's present
that's
has
not the
gone
point.
downhill because you have to be fair to these kids
But-
that have no right being under that
But
roof
that's
at
not the
Christmas
point.
time.
But that's not the point. The point is this.
happens too.
The point is, well,
Right.
obviously, but that's not the whole point. The whole point is that you're involved in something that is not your battle. It's not your battle. It's your brother's responsibility.
You know
why
what-
is it bothering you,
You know why
so
I think
much?
I'm so passionate about it? Because I don't think unless you've been through a divorce and you're getting milked by some leech bitch, you truly understand this situation. And then to know
You
it's
think
your
that
own
happened to him
it's
or
your
something?
own brother that it's happening to, and then it's being
So-
disrespected. I would never turn on my
But
brother.
why
in this
isn't it
situation.
your brother's responsibility?
He stood up, but he piped down when he realized they weren't going to change their ways. He's really distanced himself from my mom and dad over the last few years
Over
because of
this.
this.
But you're
Yes.
also
And
being
Stench is his
involved. Wait, hold
brother's
on.
keeper.
But you're in.
But I'm not
No,
going
he's
to
not.
distance, and I'm not going to back down.
No, you just want to be involved in drama. You're all about the drama. You are a queen.
I'm a drama mama.
You are a queen. Alrighty then. Danny is live from New York at the Today Show. And so we're monitoring it and monitoring it. So that's right. And when he comes on, we will play it for you. But he's live there now. And I recognize Stench has given us his whole, family psychosis, if you will. And you go under that thing that we were talking about earlier this morning, the low-life scum suckers of the world.
I'm not low life.
No, it's just that there's way too many divorces going on in your family.
Oh, we're straight out of the trailer.
He's from Bama.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all this like married to her and she had 2 kids
Yeah.
and then I got married to him and
He's from the part of Bama where saying "anga" as in Alabama or Alabama is considered like suave.
Yes, you're
Hey,
right.
When we move, we got to unhook the propane.
Well, and not only that, he got the checks over there at CalFed or whatever the bank is now that say Bama on them.
Bama, Crimson
Right,
Tide.
Bama.
Crimson, yeah. And he didn't even go to school there, which I hate.
This is my birthright.
I know, but I hate that people like put universities they didn't even go to on their checkbooks.
It's my birthright.
Ay, ay, ay.
They don't have Pasadena City College checks.
You know what?
By the way, I
Nobody
know.
out here puts UCLA or USC on their checks
Oh,
if
yes,
they didn't go there.
Oh, yeah, if they didn't go there. You're right. Because
No, we don't do that.
Yeah.
At Bama, I guess since, 1 out of 50 people probably go to college,
Yeah.
I guess the whole state feels free to put Bama on their checks.
Yep.
By the way, speaking of low-life scum suckers, we went yesterday to their Tower Records.
Yeah.
Pulled up our Sea-Doos to the Tower Records, which is awesome. And we looked
You
for...
pulled up your C-Dude to Tower Records?
Yeah, in Long Beach.
That is so
It was
cool.
bitchin', as they say. That
That's
song. It goes on and on.
I kind of like it.
I love it.
It's a real snappy toe tapper and stuff, but just the fact that she knows to say I leave my Christmas lights up all year long leads me to believe she doesn't really do it.
Oh, sure she does.
I don't believe that's a real redneck woman. I believe that's a real live rich woman that now hangs out with her rich friends.
That is not true. In the video, she is four-wheeling in the mud, and she doesn't buy her stuff at Victoria's Secret. She gets it at Target. It says that in the song.
I don't necessarily believe her.
It's an awesome song. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's the song.
The country songs, you gotta be heartfelt. When that guy says, "Can't we all get along?" Neck, I believe that is a beer swilling man.
I
When
believe
Willie
that
Nelson
man
sings a
is
song-
way more wealthy than this chick. This is her first hit.
Right, but I believe him. And when Willie Nelson, who is rich until he gets, seized by the government, I believe him.
Well, all right, Danny. By golly, then good. Danny's worried that she's not really meaning it.
I do. I think she's doing this, anthem for redneck woman, and I think she's faking it.
You know what? Not all rappers are in gangs.
Don't tell me that.
All right.
50 Cent shot 9 times.
When we come back, we are still going to talk about Stench's. Well, here's one that's just angry, so we'll just get him right now.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Brian.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, we're good.
Hi.
Hey, Stench, I am on your side, Jamie. I like you. I like you, Jamie, but this time you need to shut up.
Well, now that was very
Jamie.
powerful and very forceful. You need to shut up.
Shut up. Stench, you know what? My family to the T. That's why they're called exes. They're out of the family.
Right.
Okay, that's not my point. I agree. Wait, we all agree that that's not my point. I agree that the family, the two kids and all that, they shouldn't be involved at all. I think it's weird. I think it's bizarre. I understand. But it's your brother's battle.
But my brother's my blood. That's me. Just like if Jack had a battle,
I agree.
I'd battle with Jack.
Well, then
I'm down with the homies.
Then you're going to have to take on a lot of battles. I mean, if you're going to live your life and your brother's life.
I'm not living this life. I
Yes,
have to
you
go
are.
over there with my kids to that house too, and it's uncomfortable for me as well, and I don't like it.
It's like, you know what happened with me, right? Somebody confided in me. I decided to be the therapist and tell the family, look, there's an issue. Well, it wasn't my place.
Hey, you decided to be therapist. I am deciding to be warlord. I am the man that's
Right.
not letting any
Right,
peace
right.
in this house.
Stench as Shogun.
Oh, my God. Let's see here. I'm just going to push the random button. I'm exhausted. It's too much. All right, here's Danette. Hi, Danette.
Hello, how are you?
Danette. We're good. How are you?
Pretty good. You guys rule.
We rule!
We rule.
All the way to New York.
Well, thank you.
Okay, well, there's a different situation with me a little bit because my ex-husband and his family do not talk. So I have to take our mutual child to his
What are you
parents'
doing with your phone? Are you eating it? Is it up your butt? Well,
house.
what's
I'm
the deal with the phone?
sorry. I rubbed it on my ass because it itched or something.
I mean, because it's just
Wow.
very busy with the phone. What are you doing?
I was getting out of my car.
Oh, okay. All right,
I had to
steady.
take the kids to school. Sorry.
The second we play Redneck Woman,
Yes.
the people scratching their
Anyway,
ass with the phone are
my
calling.
ex-husband
Yes.
does not talk to his family, so I am responsible to take our mutual child to his family's house to visit. Well, my little children from a second marriage do not, of course, understand that those are sisters' relatives and not theirs. So they, since birth, have thought this was Grandma and Grandpa.
Oh.
And they've never stopped them from saying that. I've never explained to them yet because they're so young that that is not their relative.
Boy, the Cleavers never had this problem, did
No.
they? The Beaver
Nope.
was fine.
Well, that's
Yes,
because
it was.
Ward kept his things where they were supposed to be.
Well, maybe that's the problem.
But
Yeah.
anyway, mine was a little bit different just because my ex doesn't talk to his family, so I have to bond that relationship.
If he's
between
out of the
us.
picture and not protesting, I don't have a problem with you.
Right.
Well, there you go.
But
Well,
we
good.
protest
I'm
loudly.
problem-free then. I didn't want to feel like the bitch ex-daughter-in-law that keeps coming around.
Well, you kind of are.
No, she's
All right,
not.
here's my question for Jamie. I have a question for Jamie. 'cause
And
I
Jamie,
think-
please don't entertain thoughts about fancy pants and children with you.
oh my God.
He would make your life miserable.
He already does.
He makes my life miserable.
We need to find Builder Bob again. He seemed to make you happy.
He's dead.
Let them all go. New men.
Come on.
New
Boy,
men,
they
Jamie.
all hurt me, don't they?
She killed him.
I didn't kill him.
You killed
you
him.
did.
We have not seen
You
him.
did.
He built the bridge, I burnt it. Duh.
Wow.
And besides,
All right,
there's
I
always
have
a
a quick
possibility
question.
Fancy Pants and I can work it out.
Ah,
Yeah, of course there is. It's going to be fine.
Anyway, you don't know won't hurt you.
Shut up.
Yes, it will.
No, it won't.
It'll hurt you.
It won't hurt me. It's fine.
I know, and then you'll hurt us. So what we don't know hurts us.
It's in a good place right now. It's in a good place.
Is he dead?
No,
Not that good of a place.
he's alive and kicking.
Uh-oh.
That was his problem with you the first time.
Anyway, about you, what?
Oh, I was going to ask you a question because it seems we all agree that the kid thing is inappropriate. Like, you're not arguing that that's appropriate, right?
Right.
What you're saying is that Stench's brothers battle,
Exactly.
not Stench's.
Exactly.
What if your sister Mary Jo, who we all love and adore, was in some terrible fight with a neighbor, with someone at work that had escalated to the point where it was driving her crazy and really hurting her, but she had said something once and now she wasn't saying anymore. She was just taking it. But you knew how much it hurt your sister.
No, because
you're telling me you'd mind your place.
Because if it really bothered her, she would deal with it. That's
not the point. The
yeah,
point
it
is
is the
that
point.
he's
The
not.
point is that it obviously doesn't really bother this brother. He's a big
Is
boy.
that right, Stench?
He's a big boy. He knows how to take care of himself, right?
He's not running
He's
around
the guy
crying
that's
over
in
it.
what lane, or he's in turn
Turn
number
two.
2, right? He knows how to pull a Winnebago out of his butt and put it
He's
in
not
turn
running
number
around
2.
crying about it, but let's just say, I'm telling you, he's become more distant to my parents over the last
The
few
man
years
can
because of
dump
this.
a septic tank, then he can also dump his ex-wife.
And
Oh, that was good.
Dump his mom and dad for being asses, too.
Did you hear that? Like, dump the septic? Yeah, thank you.
I just want to watch him pull a Winnebago out of his butt. That sounds bitchin'.
That's hot.